Severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia on Dr. Don's Weather is powered by Southern Union State Community College, Alpha Insurance Agent Jamie Dukas, East Alabama Bee Company, and is brought to you in part by Southern Auction Solutions, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Genesis Way Clinic in Roanoke, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, Auction 431 South, Town of Wadley, and Bama Diesel Repair. Now, from the Alpha Weather Center, here's Dr. Don.
Good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia, 6:15 p.m. Central, 7:15 p.m. Eastern on your Friday, July 21st, 2023. We're watching some severe weather across East Alabama and into Georgia. A couple of things to tell you about on this update. We have a brand new special weather statement that has just been issued for portions of West Georgia and East Alabama. That's going to be for this complex of thunderstorms moving through Cleburne County at this hour. And so the special weather statement is going to be for northern and northeastern Clay, for northern and central Randolph, also for Carroll County and northwestern Heard County. Again, that's going to be for this main area that's up here in Cleburne County, from about Abernathy down to around Wildwood in Randolph County. This storm is building on the south end of the line. It is building back to the south and southwest. So the National Weather Service is going ahead and putting that special weather statement out well to the south of this line, because it is building south while it's moving to the east-southeast. You folks back over here in Bowden Grove, probably not going to see anything out of this line that's coming down into Randolph. As a matter of fact, most of Clay probably won't see anything out of that line. But look back over here around Waldo, Winterboro, and back down toward Childersburg. That's going to be moving into Clay County in the next 15 or 20 minutes. So you do have storms coming your way. In Randolph County, I really think most of this is going to stay just right across the northern tier of the county, probably from about, let's go in a little bit deeper here. Fuller's Crossroads over to around Woodland may see some of this. I think certainly Pine Tucky, Pine Hill, Newell, back over here toward Graham and Bucktown will certainly see some of this. And right now, the strongest part of it, there are two areas right there along I-20, approaching the Georgia state line, and then on the south side of that line of thunderstorms, a pretty heavy cell right there too, that'll be moving right across southern Cleburne and northern Randolph. But the good news is it's a special weather statement, it's not a severe thunderstorm warning. So with that special weather statement, strong thunderstorms will impact portions of Carroll, northwestern Heard County, in Georgia, and northern Randolph County. And the main threat with this line of thunderstorms will be 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust within this storm. So we zoom out. We have a really dangerous situation, a life-threatening situation unfolding up here in Atlanta. And it's a flash flooding situation. A flood warning has now been issued for portions of Atlanta, southern Cobb, Fulton, portions of DeKalb. Flash flood warning in effect up here for very heavy rainfall. Anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches of rain have already fallen, and an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain can be expected in this area. Even when this cluster of thunderstorms moves out, you've got another one back over here around Dallas and Rockmart and Cedartown that's going to move right in. So an ongoing life-threatening situation in downtown Atlanta. I would highly discourage anyone traveling into the downtown Atlanta area for the next several hours, as we do have flooding ongoing, and that's likely going to get worse before it gets any better. And that would be from downtown Atlanta all the way back up to the North Loop up there around Sandy Springs, back over toward 400, Norcross area, and then even back over toward Marietta. Some flooding being reported there as well. Yeah, a lot of concrete in that area, so the water really doesn't have anywhere to go. So we have a lot of flooding taking place there. We do have a special weather statement down here in Harris County. This is going to be for that thunderstorm that's been hanging out down there for a while now, just south of Hamilton, between 315 and Highway 116 is where the heaviest of this is, just off of I-185, and that's headed toward 27. So just north of 315 is where the heaviest part of that cell is located at the moment. Special weather statement there for Harris County, Georgia. That storm's kind of off out there by itself. Special weather statement for a storm coming out of Chilton County that's about to move into northwestern Coosa. Heads up Weguffka, Blue Springs. Storm sitting just north of Jemison, moving off to the east, southeast. That will get into Coosa County. That could eventually affect our folks over here in Tallapoosa, maybe Lake Martin, Alexander City, even up here around Goodwater. Could see some of this complex in an hour or so. A big thunderstorm blowing up down there around Deatsville. That's in Elmore County between Deatsville and Titus. That will be moving to the east toward Eclectic at the southern end of Lake Martin, possibly. Tallahassee, the southern end of Tallapoosa County, needs to keep an eye on that Deatsville storm, and then eventually it could end up over there in Lee County. Zooming out, we have the National Weather Service is warning every county along this line from downtown Birmingham all the way back to the Mississippi state line. A very strong line of thunderstorms there, moving off to the east, southeast this afternoon as well. And we'll have to, pay attention to, they're upgrading that Harris County storm to a severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. We'll go back down there to that in a moment. But we're going to have to pay attention to this stuff in Talladega County, from Childersburg back up just south of Talladega, for the possibility of that going severe. That would be more of a concern for Clay and potentially down the road for Randolph. So we'll watch that Talladega County storm closely as well. So back down here to Harris County, the Weather Service in the process of upgrading this to a severe thunderstorm warning. And we will get that, and let's see, it should populate here in just a second. There it goes. So there's the update right there. That's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for a very strong thunderstorm now in Harris County, just to the north of 315. And that is moving in the general direction of 27. Over here where 208 and 27 intersect. Just in the Mulberry Grove area off of I-185. And that is pretty significant looking hail indication there. We have a 100% chance of hail and a 60% chance that we have hail at least 1 inch in diameter or larger. So pretty good bet we've got some hail falling there, and most likely have got some pretty gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, maybe 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, about to move directly over Highway 27 between 208 and 315. That's headed toward Waverly Hall over there in Georgia, for you folks who are familiar with that particular area of West Georgia. So that's kind of a quick update on where we are. If I zoom out so you can see the big picture, we still have a lot of heavy rain up here in North Alabama. It's not moving much, and you'll see a lot of green triangles or a lot of green polygons out there. Those are all flash flood warnings. We have one up there around Huntsville. We have several north of Birmingham, and then we have those flash flood warnings for downtown and metro Atlanta. And likely that situation is going to probably get worse before it gets any better this evening. And again, strongly discourage travel into downtown Atlanta for the next several hours, as we have ongoing flooding there in downtown Atlanta. Special weather statement again for portions of Clay, Randolph, Northern Heard, and Carroll County, primarily for this storm that's in southeastern Cleburne, moving to the east-southeast. But we have another complex of storms from Childersburg back over to just south of Talladega that's moving into Clay from the west. So we're probably looking at the Weather Service holding on to that special weather statement or reissuing a new one in just a few moments for portions of Clay County because of the Childersburg storm that's moving on off to the east. So we'll zoom out so you can see the big picture. We'll put that in motion, and I'll run over here to the chat room and see if anybody has any questions. Damage in Gadsden, yeah, probably so. They had a pretty nasty storm up there earlier. Let's see here. Watching for Diane's watching in Roanoke. Agnes is watching us in Roanoke. Cragford, Alabama in the house. Regina says she's going to be getting wet at the concert in LaGrange. Yeah, maybe. I mean, everything's good in LaGrange right at the moment. There's just no way of knowing. Do these storms hold together all the way over to Troup County? I mean, it's certainly possible. Or do they start to fade? I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, what are we looking at here? It is 6:26 Central. Yeah, I mean, we've probably got at least a couple of hours before these storms start to fade away. And I think they will definitely be down here in the Troup County area by that within a couple of hours. So maybe a close call there for you concert goers in Troup County tonight. I'm just looking at the National Weather Service in Birmingham. See if I can pick up on the Gadsden stuff. Gadsden Airport reported 40-mile-per-hour wind gust at the height of the storm. That's coming from media in Gadsden. I see some trees down in Bluntsville. Alabama Department of Transportation reporting tree and debris on I-65 near exit 284. This was about an hour and a half ago. Yeah, I don't see anything on the National Weather Service chat room about damage in Gadsden, but if Span the Man said it, it's true. I just don't, I don't see anything to confirm exactly what type of damage we're talking about. If it's typical damage that we're seeing all across Alabama and Georgia this afternoon, it's going to be trees and power lines, and possibly some structure damage from trees that fell on some structures up there. But everything's okay up in Gadsden right now. We're watching that storm coming through East Alabama. And then we're also keeping an eye on that line that stretches from Birmingham all the way back to the Mississippi State line. And we've got a couple of pop-up storms that are not part of that line that has the potential of going severe, though we don't have anything at the moment other than that one lone storm down there in Harris County that is severe. I got some nasty rain coming down now in the Newell community from Pine Hill down to Newell in Randolph. As that line continues to build to the south, I'll zoom out, you'll see that it's really calming down up here in Cleburne and beginning to build down here in Randolph County. Although it's not very wide at all, some extremely heavy rainfall from the Cleburne-Randolph County line down to around Newell. And just to the northwest of Woodland, if this trend continues, it'll continue building to the south. So Woodland stands a chance of getting some extremely heavy rainfall and gusty winds in just a few moments. New severe thunderstorm warning coming in for Chilton County. And that's going to be for this storm I was just telling you about that's north of Jemison that's going to be moving into Coosa. So I would expect this severe thunderstorm warning that will populate on the screen in just a second is likely going to be for Chilton, and portions of Coosa. There it is. So from Weguffka down to about Kelly's Crossroads, back to around Jemison is the polygon on this new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued by the National Weather Service out of Birmingham. So if you're over here in western Coosa County or eastern Chilton County, heads up, you got a severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued by the National Weather Service. Now, this is Highway 22 that runs from Hyssop back down to Kelly's Crossroads and comes out on Highway 31 there in Chilton County, just south of I-65. So the storm is north of that and just south of Blue Springs, and it's moving off. Let me put it in motion for a second and get a sense of direction here. Yeah, it's basically moving east but building south at the same time, and you see that gust front down here around Clanton, which is an indication we got some pretty good wind within this line of thunderstorms that's moving off to the east southeast. So heads up Hyssop, heads up Hanover, shout out and heads up to Alexander City, certainly down here along Lake Martin, the north and central sections of Lake Martin. You've got a storm popping up right now between Kalijah and our town, but that is just a thunder shower compared to what we see back over in Chilton and Coosa that's going to be moving in your general direction as well, though this storm between Kalijah and our town is developing rapidly. So that could become a severe storm there across Lake Martin at any moment. So you folks up here at all the parks around Lake Martin, Wind Creek, Bama Park, you know who I'm talking about. If you're camping up here on Lake Martin, don't wait any longer. Now is the time to go to your safe place. And I mean, if you're in a tent camping area, maybe Wind Creek, the bathhouse is where you want to be. Not your automobile, not your RV, not your camper, not your tent. You need to be in a steady structure until this storm moves through. Now, you don't have a warning on Lake Martin at the moment, but nonetheless, don't wait for a warning. Go ahead and take those precautionary measures. If you're caught outdoors, you don't need a warning to use good common sense and go to a safe place. Get out of that storm. Don't stay out there in it. And that goes true for anyone who's outdoors anywhere across East Alabama or West Georgia this afternoon and this evening. Don't wait for the government to tell you need to take cover by issuing a warning. Use a little common sense. If you see that dark cloud headed your way and the wind starts to pick up, it's time to go. Go somewhere safe and ride the storm out. Again, we have that severe thunderstorm now down in southeast Harris County, moving off to the southeast. Special weather statement for northern Randolph for that storm that's moving through the extreme northeast sections of Randolph County. Not a whole lot happening up here in Carroll, with the exception of that cell sitting up there on I-20 just west of Douglasville. But my goodness, look at this mess up here north of Douglasville that's headed directly for downtown Atlanta, who is already flooding and experiencing a life-threatening flooding situation that's ongoing in downtown Atlanta. And here comes more rain that's going to move into the same area. So really a dangerous situation unfolding in Atlanta. You don't want to be anywhere near that this evening. So if you had plans up there in Atlanta this evening, I would seriously consider rethinking that. All right, so Weather Service telling us the National Weather Service radar at Shelby County Airport has just detected a downburst near Union Grove in Chilton County. So there could be some damage over here in Chilton County from that downburst. I'm not sure Union Grove is going to populate. I'm not familiar with Union Grove, but I'd put it somewhere in the Jemison or Thorsby area because that's where the heaviest part of this storm is situated at this hour. So that's what you got to look forward to over here in Coosa, and perhaps even over into Tallapoosa County a little bit later on. Radar indicating that there was a microburst, or a downburst, I should say, in Chilton County with this storm. And, and that happens, and then the storm starts to collapse, and then it cycles, and it builds back up, and it does it again. That's how a summertime, heat-of-the-day type thunderstorm works. So what the storm looks like at this moment certainly won't be what it looks like 30 minutes from now. These things go through cycles. I mean, we're beginning to see a little bit of a hook right here on this one. Inflow notch on this storm just northeast of Kelly's Crossroads, or just west of Rockford, right there. That's kind of nasty looking. Let's go over and look into that just a little bit. There's your area where the high winds are. Just crossed over I-65. No question about that. That's most likely where your microburst took place. And that's over just north of downtown Clanton over in Chilton County. I don't see anything alarming on that hook right there, so that just could be an anomaly of shape on the storm itself. That typically is an indication of an inflow notch, but that's not being reflected by the base velocity, which is the wind flow. But you see it right there clearly. All right, I have a special weather statement, a new special weather statement now. And that is going to be a new special weather statement for Chilton, Clay, Shelby, Talladega, and Coosa. Strong thunderstorms will impact portions of north central Chilton, southwestern Talladega, Shelby, northwestern Coosa, and southwestern Clay through 7:15 p.m. this evening. At 6:37 Central, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near Fayetteville to near Shelby County Airport to near West Blockton. Movement was to the southeast at 40 miles per hour. The main threat with this storm is going to be winds in excess of 40 miles per hour. Let's see if we can get that to populate. And there it is. All right, so that new special weather statement is going to be primarily because of this line of thunderstorms back over here from Chelsea down to Alabaster and down to West Blockton or just north of Brent. That's going to move off to the east, southeast. It's going to come over areas such as Columbiana, Childersburg, Sylacauga. Most likely will end up skirting the northern sections of Coosa and into southwest Clay within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Now, Clay, you've already got some storms popping up there near Millerville, just east and west of Millerville, and then between Childersburg and Sylacauga out there on Highway 280, a pretty heavy thunderstorm there. But the main line, the main show is still off to your west, and that's going to continue moving to the east. Now, here's the good indication. You'll notice that there's a severe thunderstorm warning there along I-59. I-20, I-59. Hoover's under severe thunderstorm warning, and so is Alabaster. But beyond that, off to the east, they're just issuing a special weather statement, not a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's an indication to me that this storm is probably weakening some, and they're not extending the severe thunderstorm warning further to the east. Now, could this storm be going through one of those cycles? And could it ramp back up in the next 15 or 20 minutes and go severe? Absolutely it could. And that may be what's going on. But we're hopeful that maybe the storm is in a weakening phase and we won't see that in East Alabama. We'll just have to watch and see. So that's kind of where we're at this hour. A life-threatening situation unfolding in Atlanta with flooding. We have special weather statements for portions of East Alabama. Randolph is under a special weather statement, but I got to tell you, that storm's falling apart and is falling apart quickly. Officially, northern Clay is under a special weather statement. That storm is fading. Even the portion of the storm in Carroll County is fading away quickly. With the exception of that little bitty piece up there around Douglasville and Villa Rica. So I really don't see anything strong or severe in Randolph, Clay, Hurd, or Carroll at this hour. We do have storms developing in southwest Clay, and we have strong storms moving out of central Alabama over into, eventually into southern Talladega. And they'll get into Clay. And then we have that strong thunderstorm coming out of Chilton County that's going to go right through central Coosa County. Could end up being a problem over here in Tallapoosa. We have a very strong thunderstorm over central Lake Martin developing at this hour, though it's not severe at the moment. And then we have that strong thunderstorm down in southwest Harris County that's moving off to the southeast. And a special weather statement coming for Elmore County. This is going to be a special weather statement for Tallapoosa and Elmore County. Strong thunderstorm will impact portions of northeastern Elmore and central Tallapoosa. That's going to be your Lake Martin storm. Through 7:30 p.m. at 6:41, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over eastern Lake Martin, or 9 miles southeast of Dadeville, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. The main threat with this storm is wind gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour. So we've been talking to you about this storm for the last 15 minutes or so. Now the Weather Service is issuing a special weather statement, and there it is on this particular storm. Just to the southwest of Dadeville, down to just north of Bama Park, and moving off to the east-southeast. So you folks over there on the eastern side of Lake Martin, heads up. Highway 49 from the intersection of 49 and 50 north up to about Dadeville. That's where this storm is going to pass over, just north of Stillwaters. So we'll call it between Stillwaters and Dadeville on Highway 49. Not a good ride at the moment. Very heavy thunderstorm moving over. Special weather statement in effect for that area. They've got Reeltown in the polygon on this one. Unless it builds further south, I don't think Reeltown has to be concerned about the one up there on Lake Martin. Now, this stuff back over here north of Wetumpka, I think, is going to probably be more of a threat for Reeltown and Tallahassee, but we'll watch that. So that's the situation as we have it at the moment. We're going to continue to watch this for you very closely, and we will come right back and continue with our coverage as we receive more weather information from the National Weather Service. You are watching severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's Weather.
Severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia on Dr. Don's Weather is powered by Southern Union State Community College, Alpha Insurance Agent Jamie Dukas, East Alabama B Company, and is brought to you in part by Southern Auction Solutions, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Genesis Way Clinic in Roanoke, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, Auction 431 South, Town of Wadley, and Bama Diesel Repair. We will continue to monitor the latest weather conditions across the area and return with updates as conditions warrant. This is Dr. Don's Weather,